If not us, who? If not now, when? The great enemy of the truth is very often not the lie, deliberate, contrived, and dishonest, but the myth, persistent, persuasive, and unrealistic. Tolerance implies no lack of commitment to one's own beliefs. Rather, it condemns the oppression of persecution of others. Too often we enjoy the comfort of opinion without the discomfort of thought. My fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. Those who dare to fail miserably can achieve greatly. The time to repair the roof is when the sun is shining. Leadership and learning are indispensable to each other. Our most basic common link is that we all inhabit this planet, we all breathe the same air, we all cherish our children's future, and we are all mortal. Let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe to assure the survival and success of liberty. The cost of freedom is always high, but Americans have always paid it, and one path we shall never choose, and that is the path of surrender or submission. Let us never negotiate out of fear, but let us never fear to negotiate. Physical fitness is not only one of the most important keys to a healthy body, it is the basis of dynamic and creative intellectual activity. There are risks and costs to action, but they are far less than the long-range risks of comfortable inaction. Forgive your enemies, but never forget their names. Those who make peaceful revolution impossible will make violent revolution inevitable. Conformity is the jailer of freedom and the enemy of growth. Efforts and courage are not enough without purpose and direction. Things do not happen, things are made to happen. Let us not seek the Republican answer or the Democratic answer, but the right answer. Let us not seek to fix the blame for the past. Let us accept our own responsibility for the future. Change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or present are certain to miss the future. Victory has 1,000 feathers, but defeat is an orphan. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. A man does what he must, in spite of personal consequences, in spite of obstacles and dangers and pressures, and that is the basis of all human morality. The greater our knowledge increases, the more our ignorance unfolds. A man may die, nations may rise and fall, but an idea lives on. We are tied to the ocean, and when we go back to the sea, whether it is to sail or to watch, we are going back from whence we came. A nation that is afraid to let its people judge the truth and falsehood in an open market is a nation that is afraid of its people. Our problems are man-made, therefore they may be solved by man, and man can be as big as he wants. No problem of human destiny is beyond human beings. If we cannot now end our differences, at least we can help make the world safe for diversity. For time and the world do not stand still. Change is the law of life, and those who look only to the past or the present are certain to miss the future. When power leads man towards arrogance, poetry reminds him of his limitations. When power narrows the area of man's concern, poetry reminds him of the richness and diversity of existence. When power corrupts, poetry cleanses. The goal of education is the advancement of knowledge and the dissemination of truth. If art is to nourish the roots of our culture, society must set the artist free to follow his vision wherever it takes him. Domestic policy can only defeat us. Foreign policy can kill us. In the long history of the world, only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it. Man is still the most extraordinary computer of all. For in the final analysis, our most basic common link is that we all inhabit this small planet. We all breathe the same air. We all cherish our children's futures, and we are all mortal. Peace is a daily, a weekly, a monthly process, gradually changing opinions, slowly eroding old barriers, quietly building new structures. When written in Chinese, the word crisis is composed of two characters. One represents danger, and the other represents opportunity. We are not here to curse the darkness, but to light the candle that can guide us through that darkness to a safe and sane future. I am the man who accompanied Jacqueline Kennedy to Paris, and I have enjoyed it. If a free society cannot help the many who are poor, it cannot save the few who are rich. Mankind must put an end to war before war puts an end to mankind. Washington is a city of southern efficiency and northern charm. The best road to progress is freedom's road. It is an unfortunate fact that we can secure peace only by preparing for war. The world is very different now, for man holds in his mortal hands the power to abolish all forms of human poverty and all forms of human life. Communism has never come to power in a country that was not disrupted by war or corruption or both. I just received the following wire from my generous daddy. Dear Jack, don't buy a single vote more than is necessary. I'll be damned if I'm going to pay for a landslide. Our progress as a nation can be no swifter than our progress in education. The human mind is our fundamental resource. We stand today on the edge of a new frontier, the frontier of the 1960s. A frontier of unknown opportunities and perils, a frontier of unfulfilled hopes and threats. There is always inequality in life. Some men are killed in a war, and some men are wounded, and some men never leave the country. Life is unfair. War will exist until that distant day when the conscientious objector enjoys the same reputation and prestige that the warrior does today. I think this is the most extraordinary collection of talent of human knowledge that has ever been gathered at the White House, with the possible exception of when Thomas Jefferson dined alone. If anyone is crazy enough to want to kill a president of the United States, he can do it. All he must be prepared to do is give his life for the president's. A child miseducated is a child lost. History is a relentless master. It has no present, only the past rushing into the future. To try to hold fast is to be swept aside. The sun doesn't always shine in West Virginia, but the people do. Mothers all want their sons to grow up to be president, but they don't want them to become politicians in the process. Our growing softness, our increasing lack of physical fitness is a menace to our security. America has tossed its cap over the wall of space. Once you say you're going to settle for second, that's what happens to you in life. A young man who does not have what it takes to perform military service is not likely to have what it takes to make a living. Today's military rejects include tomorrow's hardcore unemployed. The human mind is our fundamental resource. Politics is like football. If you see daylight, go through the hole. We would like to live as we once lived, but history will not permit it. The pay is good and I can walk to work. Sure, it's a big job, but I don't know anyone who can do it better than I can. In a very real sense, it will not be one man going to the moon. It will be an entire nation, for all of us must work to put him there.